Hi guys, it's Amy and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for clicking on my video and coming along with me today on my own little yarn crawl. The St. Louis area has a yarn crawl coming up at the end of July and I'm not able to make it, so I'm creating my own all by myself today. I've got 6 shops to visit. It's going to be about 150 miles or so, maybe a little more, and it's going to take a minimum of 3 hours of driving time, let alone any shopping time. So I've got a lunch packed. I'm all ready to go. I've got my list of priorities, things that I'm going to be thinking about. So I hope you enjoy coming along with me and seeing what I purchase. What a day I had yesterday, you guys. I was so tired when I got home. I just collapsed. And so this is the next morning where I'm going to go over all the yarn with you. Like, oh my goodies. Woo! Thought I'd be home at 3-ish. It was like 5:30. I spent way more time looking at the yarn than I thought I was going to. And that even was only 5 shops instead of 6. So we'll start over, kind of a little bit of a recap. I started out trying to track what time everybody opened. I am an early bird. I want to get out first thing in the morning, and I didn't leave until 10, which was really late for me because, again, I want to get up and get going. So sitting around since 5:30 waiting to get going was really driving me crazy. But not everybody opened up in such a time. So I kind of planned out when everybody opened, but I didn't plan out when everybody closed. And I actually missed a place by about 15 minutes. So this year there were 7 stores on the yarn crawl, or there are going to be 7 stores on the yarn crawl at the end of July. And so my husband and I tried to do a little road trip and do Yarn Together, which is in Washington, Missouri, because it's kind of off to the side. Everything else was like over here, and then Washington's kind of over here by itself. So we did a separate drive for that on Friday to do a little road trip, and they were closed. I didn't look on Facebook before we went, and they changed their hours for that particular day for something. I don't know what they had going on, but so I missed out on Yarn Together. So I've only got 6 shops to go to on Saturday. So I get up, I'm super excited, and so I head out. The first place that I stop at is Yarncom, and I like their store. They've got a really big store, so I know I'm going to spend a lot of time looking there. However, they had a lot of classes or community crochet or knit, so there was a lot of people in. Going into Yarncom, I wanted to take a look at one of the things on my list was to match a couple of yarns that I've got at home already. This is from the Hobby Lobby yarn haul a couple years ago. This is called Horizon Line. If you know me, you've seen this before. There's a metallic sparkle strand that goes through. It's very pretty. And I had a couple of these, and I've used one, and I have, this isn't quite a full one, but I wanted to make something else with it, and I just had this by itself. So I did find, I'm not sure how much of it I will use for this project, but what I found were some maroons to go with it, 2 skeins of the same thing. These are 220 superwash cascade yarns, which I have not used before. This is 100% superwash merino wool, and each of these has 219 yards, and they are 50 grams each. See this gorgeous color and gorgeous, like the twist in the yarn. I really like that. So I got 2 of those to go with this. We'll see what comes together. I messed that one up already. I'll retwist that for a hang up later. Retwist that up, whatever. So one of the other Hobby Lobby colorways that I had is this one. It's called April Showers. I don't really see April Showers, but it's the yellows and the blues and the grays, and it's got that same sparkle that goes through it. So same yarn, just some different colorways. I got some yellow and some blue to go with it. So those will go together in something, and I'm really excited about that because I love these color combinations together. So that was the first store. That was at Yarncom. Whoops. And I thought I did a really good job with that. I still have, excuse me, I still have a couple of these from the Hobby Lobby as well that I would like to get matched. If you can see right here, this blue that you see right there, I got at a different fiber event that matches the blue in it just beautifully. And that is from brand 316. So that was kind of main on my list, was to see if I can't get some color matches for some of these Hobby Lobby yarns. So that one was my first store. So then I went to the next store, which was very exciting for me. It's called Creators Corner, and they are up in Florissant, and it's a new shop, and the gal is so nice. I'll put her contact information in here as well. Cute little store, and it smelled divine in there. I don't know what she had, incensing or whatever, but it was a really pleasant experience. I could have stayed there longer, but I got things to do today. So I'll put in some video of that store here next. So Creators Corner had a lot of yarn that I was not familiar with, and I was very excited to see some of these yarns that I liked in a hank that came in a mini pack. So this was the purchase that I made from Creators Corner, and it is absolutely gorgeous. If we can get in here better, there's lots of oranges, pinks, purples. It is called Ruffled Sunset. There you can kind of see. And these are some bigger skeins. They had some packs that were only about 550 yards. This one is 1,102 yards. So 20% nylon, 80% superwash merino, and we've got 300 grams. Okay, so then the third stop was also a new shop. This one is called Fiber and Threads Needlecrafts, and they were over in Shiloh, Illinois. So I had crossed over the river there and started my Illinois journey for the day. So her shop was super cute. She was very helpful and chit-chatty, and wanted to share what they've got. She's very excited to be there. I'm excited for her. And so you've got to go give both Creators Corner and Fiber and Threads a check if you have not seen them before. New shops in our area is fantastic. So what I ended up getting at Fiber and Threads, you can see I insert the pictures here to show the shop a little bit. But I was not able to take my eyes off of this. This is a Malabrigo, and it's Rios. It's the worsted. You can see it's not picking up at all. This is very mint. It's called it's called Water Green, number 83. And there are 210 yards. I got 3 of these. Oh, I wish it was showing up. This is not showing up at all. It is very minty, and when I get in here, it changes it to kind of blue. Okay, kitchen pictures all around. So I've got 3 of those. They are gorgeous. I can't wait to do something with them. I just kept looking back at this. She's got all the cubbies, and I browse and I go, ooh, what's that? And I walked all the way across the room to look at it again and again and again. So that is what I purchased from her store. Also, this is her card because she is a designer of patterns as well. So if you want to check out some of the things that she's got going on, we can still frame that. Okay. So then, where did I go after that? So that was the 3rd shop. So the 4th shop, I was not paying attention to time because this is my day, right? I'm doing whatever the heck I want to do. And so This is the store that I missed, Weave and Wobble. They were only open from 10 to 2 on a Saturday. I can't help you there. So I got there at 2:15, missed out on shopping their store. I've been there once before on last year's yarn crawl. So cute little store. I think I well made up for it in the other stores. So the next place that I went to is called the Bead Place. And I'm really excited to go into that store because I have a punch card. Number one, I have a punch card, which is fantastic. We all like rewards on the purchases that we're going to make anyway, right? So the punch card allows you to get 10% off of the purchase that you're making right now. And for every $50 you spend, you get a punch on your card, or a stamp. And so I'm only one stamp away from filling my card, and then I will get $25 in yarn for free. So I'm really excited about that. So I always feel like I have to buy more when I'm there because it's way over in Illinois, and because I'm getting credit for my punch card. So I kind of went a little bit overboard on them. I really like to look a lot in this store because they've got a lot of fibers that I'm not used to. They've got a lot of cotton blends in their 1s and 2s and stuff, and it's not necessarily something that I gravitate towards, so I'm enjoying the look or whatever, and then I look at the tag and I'm like, I'm gonna scoot along. So I spent over an hour there. I'm a little bit embarrassed at that. But I think the first thing I'm gonna show you is I'm less excited about it, but I am excited about it. It's a new to me fiber, which was important for me to try to do on this yarn haul. This is from Plymouth Reserve Yarn, and it's 70% superwash fine merino wool, 10% cashmere, and 20% nylon. I have not worked with a yarn of cashmere nylon wool blend before, so I'm super excited about this. It is very soft. I wasn't sure, you know, what those different fibers are going to do. You can see it's got a beautiful kind of a twisty yumminess to it. Look at that. You want to just eat that up or what? So here's my yarn label, and this is there's approximately 400 yards, and oh, it's called Apple Orchard. Yeah, so got some goodness there for you. Yeah, so this one was just all by itself. I figured it'll be nice and beautiful and go with something and be lovely. Okay, so then the next thing is that you may have seen it in the video or pictures that I took at Fiber and Threads. They had some of these from Wonderland Yarns, and one of the things on my list to do today, or for this purchase, was to get a cake of, boom, sort of like a gradient, beautiful, can you even stand it? I love this. So it says, do you suppose she's a wildflower? This colorway is Bronze Amaranth, and there are 425 yards of 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. So it's absolutely gorgeous. And so I started to say Fiber and Threads had a couple of colorways, but I really didn't want to pick those. And then I got over to the Bead Place, and they had this colorway, and I just thought it was so gorgeous. So I picked that one up. I love it. So then the next thing that I also picked up, this sort of reminds me of Roll With It Melange by Red Heart. I had a color called Catwalk, and I couldn't, this colorway came that had a primary of a red, a primary of a blue, and I ended up with a primary of the green, and its colorway is Monteverde. So can you see how the gorgeousness of this looks like the Catwalk colorway? I just love it. This is Ella Rae, and I found Ella Rae yarn for the first time a couple years ago. This is a unique sport. So it's a colorful virgin wool blend, it says. And it is 100 grams or 350 yards. So it's 50% wool and 50% acrylic. Made in Italy. And again, color is Monteverde. So I got 3 of these. So I look forward to that. Where's my third one? Right here. Beep. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. It's kind of like a roving. You can see. Whoop. It's kind of like a roving. There's no twist or, you know, design. Like you get that sort of twisty yumminess on some yarn. So I got 3 of those. Okay, and then this was also a new yarn to me. I got tons of new to me fibers and new to me yarns. That was one of the things on my list to focus on. Because again, I could have just gone crazy in there and not, you know, you got to go in with a plan or you just go crazy. So this is, I'm trying to find one that's the prettiest. I guess this is fine. So it's Noro yarn, which I have not dealt with before. And there are these cute little donuts. And if you can see, you've got quite a bunch of different colorways. It's like gem tones. You've got all these golds. And then you've got some where it's both the yellow and the purple twisted together. So I really, really look forward to using this one. You can see, I'm going to mess this one up a little bit so I can show you. Look at all the different colorways you can feel in there. Oh, it's awesome. So I've got 3 of those. And I was up at the register. And I noticed when I was picking them up, I had 4 skeins, or 4 of these little donuts. And this Aeratori, I thought I was picking up with the same colorway. But these 3 were all colorway number 23. And then I had a colorway number 21. And so it looked almost the same. I totally thought I had 4 of the same thing, and I did not. So I was a little bit bummed out by that. But so these are 60% wool and 40% silk. Look at me. 50 grams and 142 meters. So I have to figure out what that is in yardage because I don't know my math, but I was very, 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 very excited to finally get some Noro yarn after all this time. Everybody's talking about it. They have so much, Noro has so many fibers, so many kinds of yarns that I've touched that don't feel soft to me. I don't understand why everybody loves it so much, and it's always scratchy. So, and they had some giant, like, giant cakes of other kinds of Noro, but these were just too gorgeous for me to pass up. I had to get in there. I love that green that's hiding in there as well. So I have no idea what this is going to be, but I'm excited to finally have some Noro yarn on my shelf. And then the last thing that I picked up from them, I don't quite understand the relationship, but they have their own yarn now. The Bead Place has their own yarn now. So here is the label TBP for the Bead Place. And this particular one is called Petunia. It is 100% Icelandic wool. And there's 50 grams for 180 meters. So yeah, you can see it's sort of like alpaca. I was trying to say with the fuzzies that it's alpaca, like that halo. But you can see all through, they've got all these different colors. Now, this store was also popping. There was so much business going on. I don't know if they had a bead class or if it was just an open work type of thing, but there was a ton of people in there. And for those stores, you'll see I have more photos and stuff for the stores where nobody was in there. And it was just me and I didn't care. But these stores that had people walking around and purchasing stuff, I felt a little bit weird. So these are gorgeous. They must have had 7 different colorways of this yarn. So I got 3 of those. I guess it was my 3 donut day. I got 3 different yarns from them and I got 3 donuts of each of them. So that was my Bead Place. And again, I'm only one stamp away now from getting some free yarn. So now all I have to do is drive back into Missouri, and the last store I was going to go to is where I feel at home, is my 7 sisters. And I even said that when I opened the door. I said, I feel like I'm coming home after a long day. And there was nobody else in the store except me. So again, I always feel like it's my own shopping experience. I have reported back after a fiber event about the maker of this yarn that I did buy some. I went to a fiber event and noticed that one of the yarn makers just kind of sits and she doesn't really interact. And I mentioned that in one of my videos, and I want to heartfully apologize. I do not have to behave a certain way at events that I think that they should behave, and act the way people think you should act. Be you. You do you, right? And so when I went into Seven Sisters and I start looking at her yarn, I think her yarn is very pretty. And so I asked, I said, do you know her? Because this is kind of the vibe, and I just don't want to buy her yarn because she's not out there chit-chatting and stuff. And she is known at Seven Sisters, and I felt really bad for ever making judgments. So I'm sorry. It's not my place to say how you should behave when you're selling your yarns. So because I love her yarn so much, and I felt very bad, and I felt better after speaking with, I didn't ask for her name. I believe she's the owner. I'm sorry, at Seven Sisters. I'm so used to working with Kate when she's working the desk, but I'm really sorry that I didn't ask your name. But we had a wonderful talk, and so I'm very happy to share with you some love that I shared with her now. So it's crinkly. I'm going to try to hold it gently so that it doesn't crinkle too much. But this is what I bought from her. This is Homestead Fibers. Oh, you can't even see it at all. So there are 7 mini skeins in here, and the names of the colors are for the 7 sisters. So Homestead Fibers did this colorway specifically for them and named each of them the different names of the sisters. So this is, again, one that I'll have to take out in the kitchen and make sure that you can see it. Okay, close your ears for a minute. I'm going to rip it open right now. So I have the other one to stay in order. I always hate when I mess up the order of an ombre or whatnot, but here are those yarns. So we've got a purple that's named Chrissy. See all the beautiful speckles in there? And the yellowish one is called Virginia. I almost bought this in a full-size hank because I liked it so much. And then this one's kind of greenish bluish. It's called Mary Frances. Oops. And then here is the greener one so that you can see the difference between the two. On the top is the newer, greener one I'm saying. And that one's called Carrie Bell. And then also a blue one from the other side. And this one is called Smitty because she told me their last name was Smith. So everybody just called him Smitty, which was difficult because there were 7 of them. So they had to get creative names for each of them. This one is called Janelle May. It's kind of the pinkish one. Here's the specs on those. And then this last one is kind of a peachy color, and it's called Oletta. Look how beautiful. So these together are just absolutely gorgeous. I really do like them. And I bought 2 of these. So for each of these colors, I've got 2. So I've doubled the distance. I've got 80 yards for each of these little guys. So I've got 560 times 2. Whoops. And I'm dropping them. So I have 2 of those. Which bag am I in? So yay, I have a whole nother set of that. And then something that was new to me at Seven Sisters or anywhere that I've seen. You may have seen hanks of Wonderland yarns before. And now I'm super excited that I have my little cake of Wonderland yarns as well. But this guy is one that I already owned. Am I upside down? And this one I think I got at Yarn Together when they first opened out in Washington, Missouri. And my husband and I went on our little driving day, or little road trip is what I meant to say. So you can see they've got some sort of, it's not showing up very well. There's some browner colors here, and maybe I was thinking of this other one instead. I might have been thinking of this one instead. This one is a sport weight. And you can see the colors that I have in there. And this is fingering. So I'm gonna gift a little bit. So I'll show you what I had in mind. So this is my Wonderland yarns from home. And I was buying, whoops, pick it up. So then I saw that they had these little Wonderland minis. And I thought they had a whole bunch of different colors. Whoops, a whole bunch of different solids. So I was thinking in my brain that I would get it to go with this yarn. Only this is sport weight. This is my fingering. So I bought 2 of these. I don't know how much or how well that will go with that after all. Shoot, that was kind of my whole purpose. So I've got 2 of these fingerings and then 1 of these. So that is not at all. Oops. Okay, so these were purchased kind of not as intended. Whoops. Oh well, they'll go with something. They'll go with something. I don't know if I'll end up putting them with that anyway, just to give them a pop here and there. But, oh well, okay. And then the last thing that I purchased on my yarn crawl for 2024, Amy's Own Yarn Crawl, I will never shop at Seven Sisters and not pick up Leading Men Fiber Arts, I do believe. And so what I decided to do, I have a couple of these already. These are a great smaller size. It's 231 yards or 50 grams of a fingering weight. And they do these little intermission sizes. This one is called Tiny Dancer. This one is called Industrial. And this one is called Fishbowl. It wasn't that I was buying them to go together. They had these 3, one other that was like a green and beige together, and then a variegated that didn't go with any of these 3. But I've got others. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 others of this size yarn in different colors. And so who knows what might come of them being put together. You know, I can never go wrong with Leading Men Fiber Arts yarn. And like I say, you know, you never know what it might go with, mix and match, or just support Seven Sisters with another purchase. So in this visit, she told me that Leading Man is doing a trunk show with them on, I think she said August the 10th. So I'm super excited. I'll be getting some more Leading Man Fiber Arts yarn then. And I'm not saying I'm collecting them, but if I collected yarn, it would be Leading Men Fiber Arts. You know that. So, all right, guys, what a day I had. What a day. The rain turned into major heat. It started in the morning, sprinkling on my drive at about 81 degrees, 82 degrees. And I ended the day at 91 degrees. I brought my lunch, but I didn't consider, initially when I thought about bringing my lunch, I was going to bring a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, which you can eat while you're driving. I ended up putting a salad in my lunch bag, which I can't do while I'm driving. And I only brought 1 cold pack, and I went into a store and it was like overcast and a little not as hot, and I came out and it was roasting and the sun was shining and my bag was not cold anymore. So I had to throw away my salad. I did eat some of my fruits and snacks and goodies on my way, but I did stop for some fast food. And then I didn't eat dinner last night. So super tired. I feel rejuvenated, if you can't tell by how fast I'm talking. So that was my wonderful yarn crawl for my own little yarn crawl. I'm going to miss doing it, you know, with everybody else in the end of July, but I'm really glad that the shops, some of the shops didn't have anybody else in it. I was the only one in there. I really enjoyed that. So I hope you enjoyed my yarn haul. Have a wonderfully blessed day, and please do come back and see me again. Thank you. Bye-bye.